All right, so some optimism from the commissioner last night as we bring in our pal Woj here. Suspended for at least 30 days, Woj. What conversations are being had within the league right now?
You know, there's so much that has to be dealt with on so many different levels. Contingencies based on when the league could possibly return and what a truncated schedule would look like. Does that mean, would you play any more regular season games? Would you have to shorten playoff series, sites, arenas, and then how deep into the summer would they be able to go to play? And so whether it's with the owners, with the Players Association, the hardest part for the league right now is the unknown. Listen, Adam Silver and the league would love to believe that after these 30 days, then they would be able to ramp it up and be able to start playing in another week to 10 days. But they don't know what this country is going to look like at that point. And I think the uncertainty makes planning right now, when you talk to league executives, really, really hard to do. Uncertainty
is the right word there. You know, with all that and with all of the information and misinformation potentially out there, Woj, what are teams telling their players right now?
They're telling them, at least through Monday, to stay in town. Don't go out. They want to control their environment. They want to keep them as much as they can away from going out and potentially becoming a carrier for the virus, or bringing it back into the team or certainly their families. But here's the hard part. At some point, especially with 30 days out, you know, many players, their families live away during the season, and they're going to want to go visit them when they're not playing. Another thing teams and the Players Association are telling players, you can't get a test for the coronavirus just because you want one. There aren't enough tests out there, and they can't be provided to the players. And so, you know, that's part of the conversation that's gone on too.
A lot of questions still to be answered here. We know this at least 30 days. The NBA is on hold. Adrian Wojnarowski with us here tonight on SportsCenter. And you know what? Some good news to come out of a really difficult situation. Similar to Kevin Love yesterday, Giannis Antetokounmpo taking to Twitter announcing he will be donating to workers at the Bucks home stadium $100,000. And on top of that, moments ago, the team, the Milwaukee Bucks, announcing that they, in fact, will match that $100,000 donation for workers at the Bucks home arena.
Yesterday suspended the NBA season for at least 30 days. He said they will resume the season if and when it is safe to do so. The commissioner joining the NBA on TNT crew last night.
Even if we're out for a month, even if we're out for 6 weeks, we could still restart the season. You know, it might mean that then the finals take place in July, you know, late July. Just my feeling was it was way premature to suggest that we had lost the season. It's and again, it may seem odd at the same moment that we're saying for health reasons we need to take a break to talk about restarting it, and that the notion of at least 30 days was just to try to give people some guidance. It was really a moment for us to step back, take a breath, ensure that everyone in the NBA community was safe and healthy and doing everything they needed to do to care for their families, and then give us some time to deliberate and figure out if there's a way that we can resume playing at some point.
Our insider Adrian Wojnarowski with us now on SportsCenter. We just heard the commissioner say the NBA's hiatus will be at least 30 days. Woj, what can we expect from the league over the next month?
Well, you know, the NBA is like every other industry in this country, maybe in this world right now. You know, they are monitoring, you know, the spread of the coronavirus outside their walls, and then within their league. That's first and foremost. You know, they're going to have to start giving teams direction with the teams on hiatus about allowing practices, workouts with teams. You know, that right now they want players to stay in town, not leave. You know, what the last thing they want are players bringing potentially the virus back into their team. And then thirdly, there is a lot of conversation going on, and there has been for weeks, really even months, about long-term projections with the postseason, arenas, playoff formats, based on how much time, if any, they have to continue this season.
And do you finish the regular season? Are they committed to 82? There's so many questions that are on the table right now for the NBA. What's not in question is that we have two players, two all-stars who have tested positive. That's Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. We saw the video of Gobert touching the microphone, sort of acting cavalierly with respect to the coronavirus, very apologetic about that yesterday. The Instagram saying, the first and most important thing is I would like to publicly apologize to the people that I may have endangered. At the time, I had no idea I was even infected. I was careless, and make no excuse. I hope my story serves as a warning and causes everyone to take this seriously. I will do whatever I can to support using my experience as a way to educate others and prevent the spread of this virus. What has life been like, Woj, for the Jazz since we've learned about the positive tests?
Well, first and foremost, it was getting their players back from Oklahoma City, and they had to work with, health officials in Utah, health officials in Oklahoma City to first get players tested in Oklahoma and then flown back to Utah. And as an organization, listen, there are clearly issues within that locker room they're going to have to work out. The good news is they have time to do it. They've got great leadership. It's an outstanding organization, and they've got a lot of people who've been together for a very long time and have a window of time now before they have to be back on the court and perform together again, to work through whatever issues are going to remain here in the aftermath of the two players testing positive.
Any word on how Gobert and Mitchell are doing right now with the coronavirus, how they're feeling?
I'm told that both have been, are on course physically, and I think for both of them, it was a chance for them to work to get out of Oklahoma City and then get back, and they've got to quarantine and then get, hopefully it's going to pass for them.
Okay. Woj giving us the very latest. 30 days from the shutdown is April the 10th. The playoffs were supposed to begin on April the 18th, but schedules and dates are fairly worthless at this point in time.
News Thursday of a second Jazz player, Donovan Mitchell, testing positive for coronavirus, and word later that day from the first. That would be Utah center Rudy Gobert posting an apology on Instagram, saying in part, the first and most important thing is I would like to publicly apologize to the people that I may have endangered. At the time, I had no idea I was even infected. I was careless, and make no excuse. Gobert going on to say, I hope my story serves as a warning and causes everyone to take this seriously. I will do whatever I can to support using my experience as a way to educate others and prevent the spread of this virus. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver speaking Thursday on the season's suspension.
Even if we're out for a month, even if we're out for 6 weeks, we could still restart the season. It might mean that then the finals take place in July, late July. Just my feeling was it was way premature to suggest that we had lost the season. It's and again, it may seem odd at the same moment that we're saying for health reasons we need to take a break to talk about restarting it, and that the notion of at least 30 days was just to try to give people some guidance. It was really a moment for us to step back, take a breath, ensure that everyone in the NBA community was safe and healthy and doing everything they needed to do to care for their families, and then give us some time to deliberate and figure out if there's a way that we can resume playing at some point.
Certainly feels like so much has happened sports-wide since that announcement from the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski is here with us this morning. So the NBA is going to take a 30-day hiatus. What are they monitoring over that span?
Well, there's another wave now of testing that's going on among the teams and, among those team players and teams who've competed against the Jazz in recent weeks, and then teams who competed against the teams who played the Jazz. And so that's for starters. And so I think the league wants to see by early next week, when those test results are back, are there more positive tests? How does that impact the rosters of teams? And they want teams to stay in town. There's not going to be formal workouts here in the next few days. Most teams have closed their facilities to the players and told them, go be with your families, but they don't want them out traveling. It's not a time to go on vacation somewhere. And in that way, they're trying to do their part in limiting the scope of the possible transmission of the virus.
It was your reporting that said, look, the owners are the ones asking Adam Silver to take 30 days and then reevaluate the situation. So that's coming from the owners. What else is coming from them in terms of what they want Silver to do?
Well, they need guidance in this matter. This is uncharted territory for everybody. And whether it's, I think the owners, the teams, they've really looked to the league here in the last month as this conversation has started about what shape or form a hiatus might take for the NBA. They need information from health organizations. They need financial information about the implications that all the decisions they have to make here. Listen, step away from the health side of it first, and they need to get a handle on that. But at some point, this is also a financial decision for the league. Yeah. They took a massive hit on that fractured relationship with China. They're going to take another fractured financial.